Nice. What a headache.
You took the bait just like that. Time for a buzz. Time to twirl!
Stand down and I'll spare you. Fleeting light, roaring flood. All will be revealed. In lunar flame! A blade of moonlight.
Time to twirl! This combat needs optimizing. At this speed, too slow.
What a headache.
You took the bait just like that. This is gonna hurt. Do you know who I am? Ever see a diamond this big? Oh, it's all yours! Time to twirl!
Blade fodder.
Don't mess with me! You took the bait just like that. Time for a buzz. Time to twirl! Oh, poor you. Time to twirl!
Blade fodder.
I'll free you from your chains. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
Are you trying to have a staring contest?
Have you heard of the Rightful Right Society? Come around and have a look.
The flower is beautiful.
Are you trying?
Let's take it in turns. You rest. I'll stand guard.
I wish you all a journey that is free of illness.
You came at a good time. There is something you can help me with. According to my patient records, there are a few that haven't come for their follow-up visits. It happens from time to time, but never as regularly as this. I'm a bit concerned. Have you heard of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society? Generally speaking, mutual aid societies like these allow patients to share their experiences and support each other. It's a way of countering all the negative emotional effects of being ill. But there might be more to this society than that. I've got a few patients who have started refusing treatment since joining the society. It certainly makes you wonder. The most suspicious part is that no matter how much I ask, no one's ever willing to tell me anything about it. And that's where you might be able to help. That won't be necessary, but it will help if you pretend to be a patient. Help me investigate this so-called mutual aid society and find out exactly what they're up to. If I find out they're preventing me from doing my job, or if they're bringing harm to my patients, I won't just sit on the sidelines. Can I entrust you with this task? You're as considerate as always. This little clinic has huge numbers of patients to deal with every day. If I didn't have you here to help me out, I wouldn't be able to focus on giving them quality care. Good luck. I'll be sure to thank you properly when you're back.
Are you hurt? Let me take...
You. I've seen... Don't play dumb. Let me guess. Natasha wants you to persuade me to go back for a follow-up visit, right? What's the use? I'm terminal. Life will be over before I know it. Of course not. I read it in a book. Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen incurable diseases before I get halfway through. For people in my situation, a follow-up visit is just a waste of time and money. Not to mention medicine. Mutual aid what now? What are you talking about? What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked, then pay it back when I had the opportunity. I guess I'm too proud. You think I need you to tell me? Don't try and persuade me. I've already thought this through. Dr. Vash never charged me anything either. Natasha's great, but Vash was always my number one. Natasha's brother? They both used to practice medicine back in Rivertown. I heard he was a top student from the Overworld Medical Academy. Belobog's main hospital wanted him. I have no idea what convinced him to set up down here. A kind heart, maybe. What do you mean? Dr. Vash was a people's doctor. He handed out free medicine. He even followed up with detailed questions on how he felt. The underworld is always short on medical resources. They say that Dr. Vash made all his own medicine himself. You think I don't want to? I heard that he passed away. I should keep my voice down. Don't go telling anyone else about this next bit. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patients, so she... It's just something people were saying. I don't think Dr. Natasha could do something like that. Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll do her a favor. I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later. Bye for now.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. My ears aren't what they used to be. Oh, everything's muffled. Ah! A follow-up visit. Is that what you're asking about? Natasha's a wonderful girl. She always gives me a thorough checkup. But at this age, it's rather a lot to bear. Even if they could cure me. I'm sure I wouldn't be around for long. Not for youngsters like yourself. When you get to my time of life, good health is a bit of a luxury, I'm afraid. My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. He wanted to make sure I had enough. Then, one day, he said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He never came back. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. Ah, selfish old fool. I miss him. Now that he's gone, who cares how long I stick around? You're not wrong, I suppose. That girl certainly spares me no effort. But I always feel like I'm a burden to her. Okay, you win. It's off for another follow-up visit with Dr. Natasha, I suppose. Did you want to say something else? My ears are terrible. Virtual who? All right, I heard you. Do you have to shout? No, I've never heard of any mutual aid society.
Avoiding a follow-up visit because of her husband. I should find another patient to talk to.
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Dr. Natasha send you over? Who else would care about people like me? I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to save her worries and medicine for other people. Huh, so you had a dispute with her. She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve of her methods, that's all. Too idealistic, and no real efficacy. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who suffer, and she just tires herself out. Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait for death to come knocking. Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is cheap, and the results are immediate. You just need to, be willing to, take a little risk. Dr. Vash's medicine is different. Lots of people make a full recovery after taking it, but some get worse, and the unlucky ones check out early. Even knowing the risk, most people fight tooth and nail to get hold of the medicine. You know why? You're smarter than you look. When life forces you to the edge, you'll throw yourself at any opportunity, even if it means risking it all. For people like us, a slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. If it's between that and a quick result, we'll take the latter. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this? Dr. Vash is dead anyway. What? Now you're interested in the wonder medicine? Listen up. The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. I can tell you where they trade, but there's a rule. You must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha, you hear? If you break the rule, you'll face the consequences. Here, take this. It's the address. A final warning. Do not reveal this information to Natasha.
I know where to find the wonder medicine. What should I do next? That patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this. Should I listen to him?
Hey, where do you think you're going? Medicine? Oh, you mean Dr. Vash's wonder medicine, right? You're the same as everyone else that comes through here. If you want medicine, you don't need to go any further. You talk to me. And we only take cash. This ain't a charity. No money? Then you don't get any. You go home and wait for death. Say, what are you trying to pull here? If you can't afford it, then get out of my sight. I've got medicine to sell. Wait a minute. Your clothes. Are you friends with that doctor woman? I've seen you at the clinic before. I know it. Get lost, now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you're not welcome here. Shop's closed today. No customers.
Wait. What about our medicine? We've been waiting for ages.
Get lost, all of you. Save your breath and come back some other time.
That medicine seller sure closed up shop in a hurry. I should head back and report to Natasha. It's getting late. Where to now?
Well, are you hurt? Let me... So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results, and now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients? Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual aid. I'm not surprised. They'll know that I'm completely against them using this wonder medicine. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. The word medicine doesn't apply here. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. No wonder they kept the Mutual Aid Society a secret from me. I'm guessing the patients you met weren't exactly singing my praises, which is why you tracked the dealer down and made inquiries first. I don't blame you. After everything you heard, I'm grateful you came back to find me. Your trust is important to me. If you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic. See what they have to say about the effects.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help those in need. I don't buy it. People's doctor, that's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. Vash used to distribute free medicine all the time, but he couldn't have cared less about the people taking the medicine. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or not. What mattered was having a constant stream of willing lab rats. Of course, I can't control what anyone else thinks. That's just how I see it.
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff... Can you even call it medicine? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He didn't deserve the title doctor. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. He just prescribed me his so-called wonder medicine. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
Well, are you hurt? Let me take a look. I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. The issues surrounding Vash. My relationship with him. The things he's done in the underworld. It's a long story. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. What do you make of him? I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the Wonder Medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abusing that medicine. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think. After that, I want to ask for your help again.
Who are you? Who? And who am I? Where's my husband? And where's my child? Where are they? You know where they are, right? You don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. Where? Where did they go?
Come over here, child. It's best to leave that poor lady in peace. Let me explain. That poor lady. Both her husband and child became ill and passed away. Yes, before her family passed away, she was a carefree young woman. Her husband and child caught a mysterious illness. The symptoms weren't grave, but their livelihood was certainly impacted. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, they bought some kind of wonder medicine. Who would have thought their condition would deteriorate so rapidly after they began using it? The two began to suffer terribly, such that death then became a blessing. It wasn't long before they departed this world, one after the other. From that moment on, she became as you see her now. If Dr. Natasha hadn't taken her under her wing, well, it doesn't bear thinking about. And yet, what more could have been done? They were warned about the medicine. They were told about the risks. And they chose to roll the dice. Talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to help her where we can. I just hope that one day she can lead a normal life again.
Are you hurt? Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to understand the Wonder Medicine all too well. Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces like that can take full advantage of the typical underworld state of mind. Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched pharmaceutical skill. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. He named his research project Blizzard Immunity. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge risk, and nobody in the overworld was willing to submit themselves to such experiments. As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to support the medical effort below ground. Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, as far as medicine was concerned, her brother had always been the standard she'd strive to attain. She brought her brother underground and entrusted him with her clinic and laboratory. I think you know what comes next. Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments on his test subjects. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. They would forget their pain for a while and neglect their regular treatment plans. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine, while patients with serious illness would quickly deteriorate, and sometimes die. I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doctor would accept that. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. Are you willing to take on this assignment? Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine. But it's up to us to remove this false hope. You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequences. Don't worry about that. Go. I'll be waiting for the good news.
Stop right there! No one's allowed up ahead! Ho-ho! Playing the hero, are we? Is this a stick-up? Wait a minute, you're that clinic woman's lackey, aren't you? Did you think the Mutual Aid Society didn't have its own intel? She's after our medicine and sent you here to smash the place, right? Men, look lively and send this idiot packing already!
Evil's begun. To the clouds!
I see through you.
Welcome, customers. Yeah!
It came together. Converge and awaken.
Let's make it quick. Just a
Let's be
scratch.
friends. Yeah!
Stay the course.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Well, look who we have here. Your reputation precedes you, outsider. I didn't take you for a bandit and a thief. You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. The medicine we hold here is lifeblood for many of our members. Are you sure you want to deprive them of that? Those poor patients. Along comes a life-saving wonder medicine only to be snatched away by a shameless bandit like you. The underworld is full of sickness. What would happen if we left it all to that clinic to treat? My Mutual Aid Society has relieved that doctor of patients at the end of the road. Shouldn't she be thanking me? Seems like you are quite bent on dismantling our operations, aren't you? Fine, seeing as you came all this way, it'd be rude not to give you the opportunity. Men, seize the medicine thief!
Gale Force!
A quick divination.
A thousand wonders to raise your fight as one!
The wind is rising. Bolt! From the bow!
All things in this world have their laws. Human creations!
Rules are made to be broken.
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to save lives, you're in it to get rich.
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough trouble already.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have expected trouble to find you sooner or later. I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way, I must eradicate any and all threats to them.
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness. How could you possibly pull it off?
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and sleep to treat them. The debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the very end.
So stubborn. In that sense, you're no different from your crazy brother.
I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Your actions today have saved many underworld families. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, they'll be out of luck. Let's go back to town. I still owe those patients an explanation.
It's getting late. Where to now? Uh-oh. It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha. Let's hear what they're saying.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is out of supply?
Correct. That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wildfire has cut off the supply chain. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on pseudo-medicines will only worsen your condition.
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're just jealous you lost your patients.
How dare you speak to Dr. Natasha like that? Where are your manners?
Ma'am, please think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working fine for us, and now it's gone because she wants it to be? How can she—
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the surface.
The surface? I almost forgot that you were an overworld big shot.
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. If not, I'll tell everyone about how she set up Dr. Vash. I'm out of here.
Are you hurt? Let me take... Oh, you're here. I apologize. That must have made for uncomfortable viewing. I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now I need to focus on treating the patients and dispelling their doubts. Let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better once I've gotten rid of this mess that Vash left us. Now's as good a time as any to tell you Vash's whole story. If there's anything you want to know, don't hesitate to ask. No, but I used to think we were so close that we may as well have been. I, actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't until I was adopted by an overworld family that life changed for me. My adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood, and Vash loved me like a sister. That is, while we were still young. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older, both of us got straight into Belobog's medical school. We were on a path into the medical profession. He was gentle and introverted. But when it came to work, he could be absurdly obsessive, like a completely different person. Whenever I made a mistake in an experiment, he'd bite my head off. And then a while later, he'd apologize and comfort me. He was conflicted in that way. I didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked when you told me. If you fail to make a clean break with the past creeps up on you. That's a long story. Ever since he was little, Vash had always wanted to develop a medicine called blizzard immunity. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that humanity could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave Belobog and rebuild their homes in the snow plains. To be honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. But I do admire that vision and perseverance. I always chose to believe him, ever since I was a kid. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the orphanage for a while. I thought it might help take his mind off his research. But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. It changed him. In a terrible way. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patients, their bodies reacted differently to hot and cold. And that fascinated Vash. He began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead to breakthroughs in developing blizzard immunity. Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his patients in the short term. A convenient way for him to observe changes in his test subjects. But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was wrong, his terrible research had already turned him into a madman. Indeed. And it all happened under my nose. How ridiculous. My judgment was clouded by trust in a loved one. When his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time with Oleg discussing how to handle the aftermath. This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent ages trying to find a way to handle Vash. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him and permanently deny him access to the underworld. Had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I was young and weak at the time. Oleg must have worried about how I'd react to such a scenario, or he wouldn't have suggested banishment. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was the day I no longer recognized my brother. Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us, to take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always wanted to conquer. His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. I've been telling myself that Vash is dead ever since. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Vash was a terrible brother and a worse doctor. That's all you need to know. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Correct. All the cabins they might pass by have been checked. Remember to report to lead researcher Asta. We'll deal with problems outside the base zone later. Ah, it's you. Sorry, this is embarrassing. We suddenly had some stuff come up. I wanted to take care of it before you arrived, but I can't seem to even get a break around here. Never mind about that. Here, this is for you. I made it this morning, and I've been keeping it warm. No, she had pudding this morning. I made it especially for you. I spent a long time wondering what to give you. In the end, I realized I should stick to what I'm good at. Miss Asta loves my fried rice, so I hope you like it too. Sorry it's so noisy here. I wanted to find somewhere quieter where I could get your feedback, but... Miss Asta said that gratitude has to be sincere. It's a shame that I had to finish it up so hastily. Some big shot suddenly decided to visit the space station today. Everyone has been in a hurry since the announcement. They're all worried that a bad impression could damage Madame Herda's reputation. Miss Asta said that the guest appears to be Madame Herda's research partner. If he's doing research with her, he must be famous throughout the galaxy. Look at the time. The guest is almost here. If you're curious, just follow the crowd. Miss Asta and I will be there soon.
first time I've seen such a spectacle.
Even the top brass.
So this visitor is...
Get ready.
Hypothesis. Thought always precedes word. Huh? And yet, I can't find the words for this moment. It's good to see you, Asta. I apologize. I'm 4 minutes and 13 seconds earlier than the appointed time. I hope it's not a bother.
Of course not, Mr. Scrollum. Welcome to Herta Space Station.
No need for formalities, Asta. Herta Space Station is where knowledge converges. Here we celebrate the equality of thought. Such collaboration between organic life forms is magnificent and efficient. You're rebuilding the space station far quicker than I could have imagined.
We appreciate your high praise, Mr. Scrollum. Would you like me to show you around? Since the last summit, we've launched several new research projects focused on silicone-based matrices.
Well, that sounds lovely, but I do have a meeting with Herta, so let's put the new surprises on hold for now.
Madam Herta should be in her office. I'll take you there. Right this way.
Sure. And you are? Ah, hello, young sir. I've heard so much about you. Herta talks about you often. She's quite curious about you, as am I. What is it like to live in symbiosis with a Stellaron? I hope we'll have sufficient time in the future to get to know each other and answer this question.
Sorry, I wanted to show you around, but now I don't think I'll be able to get away. All right, see you later.
Strange. It should be around here somewhere. Maybe it's hidden inside Madame Herta's portrait. Huh? Do you need something? If you're looking for the front desk, just go straight through those doors. Such a concerned and responsive tone. You must be the one everyone's been talking about recently. Your kind-heartedness is famous throughout the space station. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Leonard, a cybersecurity engineer here at the space station. You probably know that this place was recently attacked by the Antimatter Legion. In the chaos, the master control system for each zone was paralyzed. Now that the station is being rebuilt, my job is to repair equipment and restore the space station's cybersecurity. But during the repair process, I discovered some anomalies. The access records show that a third party other than the Legion invaded while the master control system was paralyzed. I don't know who or what it was. Actually, I'm investigating that right now. We suspect that it may have been the Stellaron Hunters. It's an elusive group and very dangerous. Every member is on the IPC's wanted list. They include a super hacker from Punk Lord. I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost to her once before. A while ago, I discovered her whereabouts during a screening process. I was planning to follow the clues to find more details about her, but I fell into her trap. Can you guess what happened next? She reverse-hacked my device, sent out a bunch of spam, made a video game open to the space station, and told everyone that an idiot named Leonard made a big silly mistake. Ugh, I don't want to think about it. Now that everything is calmed down, I thought they'd be on my case already. The silver lining? Madame Herta was generous enough to allow me to continue investigating this matter. Hence, my silver lining. You know Madame Herta. If she's really interested in something, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. To put it simply, the leaders have given me an opportunity. How could I not cherish it? If I can make up for my mistakes and do a good job, I may have a chance to prove myself. This time, I plan to start from inside the space station and see if I can find some clues to trace the intruder's steps. Maybe I can find the blind spot I missed before. I designed a decoding program. Look, it looks like a camera, but it's actually a detector. We should be able to find hidden clues with it. Just like this. That's, Really? Why is there a drop of sweat? Unbelievable! Why would something like this be in the space station? The staff wouldn't even dare scribble on the wall, let alone leave a drop of sweat! So this is what we're looking for? This suspicious evidence? It wasn't what I was expecting, but... Wait a second. Let me take a look. Oh, I see. This is digital graffiti that appears to represent Punklorian symbols. If I'm not mistaken, this should be some kind of automatic encryption. We need to decipher it if we want to find any culpatory evidence. Ugh, you got me there. I got caught up in our conversation. I wasn't paying attention. Let me think. Maybe I've been under too much stress recently and I subconsciously want a friend. Anyway, if I were to find clues related to the Stellaron Hunters, wouldn't that be helpful to you too? Just do me a favor. It won't take up too much of your time. Here, just point it at the graffiti on the wall. Why are there Void Rangers here?
It came together. Converge and awaken.
Let's make it quick.
Stay the course.
A quick divination. No matter, yin and yang. Can we talk? Yeah!
That scared me to death! Did you see that? It seemed like something popped up here, then Void Rangers jumped out. But look! Just like I guessed, this graffiti is encrypted. If we decipher it, we can see some hidden information. The surveillance camera captured her face. Silver Wolf. It's exactly the same as the photo on the IPC's wanted list. Let me see what she was up to. Is this a transmitter beacon? Oh, I see. She probably ran into the Antimatter Legion during the invasion, then used this beacon to teleport the enemies somewhere else. We accidentally activated the beacon again just now, and they were brought back. Jeez, Stellaron Hunters have the ability to stow enemies away like that? Beacon transmission that doesn't require a power source and can be implemented solely through computation? No wonder they were able to break into the space station. With this, I'm afraid not even Madame Herta's office is safe. Well, I don't share your optimism. If it wasn't for you, I'd probably be lying on the ground right now. Anyway, let's work together. There's a strange signal nearby. Maybe it's another piece of graffiti. Look, up there! They even put down a question mark. They must be making fun of us. She went towards the base zone. Yep. There's only one way. Disappeared again? This thing keeps cutting out when I'm deciphering it. She must have stopped here for a bit. Let's look around.
Can you let me have some fun this time? Our last few operations turned out to be pretty dull.
She makes it seem easy. Is she really looking at the Curio Collection Index? Judging by how calm she is, she must have been in this room for a while. Maybe she was waiting for someone. Not sure what happened after that. Let's search somewhere else.
Your fake ID info is ready.
Ah, so that's what happened. She sneaked in first, then helped her partner in through the main door. It's a classic hacking operation. Let's see. The registered name is Leonard Collywell. My identity! I never noticed that there was an issue with this record. I subconsciously glanced right past it when I saw my own name. She's so cunning. It's an honest mistake! The reaction of any ordinary person is to check for unfamiliar names, right? Who would think to check their own name? The graffiti's location is quite interesting. It feels like she's playing a game with us. One dot leads to another. I heard from a friend that the hackers on Punk Lord have a tradition. When they hack, they purposely leave something behind for people to discover. Kind of like throwing down the gauntlet. They call this the Punk Lord mentality. There can only be competition when there's rivalry. And there can only be excitement when there is competition. Life's a game, and having fun is what's most important. I don't understand that way of thinking, but it seems like this graffiti might have been left behind for us on purpose as a clue. The same thing happened last time as well. I was so close to the target, but got obliterated in the final battle of information. Doesn't help to dwell on past failures. It's more important to do your best with the things in front of you. Ah, she seems to be leaving. Let's keep up. They seem to be heading toward the monitoring room.
Let's be friends.
Stay the course.
It came together.
Let's go.
Welcome, customers. Yeah!
Spirit never dies.
It came together.
Let's make it quick. Rules are made to be broken.
I'm glad we're all out safely.
Another graffiti. They're all different, too. She really put some thought into this. Huh? Is this section of the record damaged? She went through the wall and disappeared. That's highly unlikely. I bought this detector just last week. The refund guarantee hasn't even expired yet. Let's talk about that later. Hold on, I got it! It might be an effect from a curio. There was a pre-established folded space here, and the intruders found it and took advantage of it. No wonder she kept going through the curio collection index. This space is connected to the Stellaron room. Do you still remember it? That's where they put the Stellaron inside you. Huh? What are you muttering about? Why would they leave you here if their objective was the Stellaron? With her capabilities, all she would have needed to do was make another beacon. She would have been able to escape with the Stellaron, no problem. graffiti here. Oh, we're doomed! The trail has gone cold. Ugh, so strange. Did she really leave just like that? She came all this way and didn't take anything with her, nor leave anything behind. Oh, they did leave you behind. Sorry, that sounded better in my head. It must have been a terrible feeling waking up in a place that was completely unfamiliar to you. Oh, me? That's how I feel when I wake up every day. I can't help but feel there's more that they're after. I really hope I can find something that's useful to you. Otherwise, I'll feel bad for having you do so much work for nothing. The more I talk about it, the worse I feel. I should probably find something that I can do. There's a rating pistol here. I wonder what my rating would be. Whoa, look here! There's a strange access log in the rating pistol's compartment. It looks like the log time occurred during the Legion's invasion. The researchers would have already been evacuated by then. Could it have been her? In which case, she didn't leave immediately. She implanted the Stellaron inside you, and then fiddled around with the rating pistol for a while. Could it be that... I just realized something. We need to go to the curio collection room on the other side. Just as I thought. She was here! I just remembered that Madame Herta has a game cartridge named Punk Lord Mentality in her collection. You remember it, right? It's actually on the list of missing curios. I wasn't able to put the two together before. If the hacker has a personal objective other than the Stellaron Hunter's mission... I got it! I got it now! The Stellaron Hunter's operation was just a cover for her. Look, in the end, they didn't take the Stellaron with them. She was so interested in the Curio Collection Index that she stayed in the space station even after her mission was complete. This was what she was truly after. She knew we would be looking for the Stellaron Hunters and used it as her cover. Very smart. To be expected of someone from Punk Lord. Hold on, though. Something doesn't add up. The curios are Madame Herta's most prized possessions. All the visit requests are sent to her office from the computer in the main control room. Some researchers tried to gain access to the curios for research purposes once, but they didn't get proper authorization. She caught them all red-handed. You got me there. But with the skills of this hacker, I do think it's possible. We should go and check the main control room.
Welcome to Herta Station.
Wait, don't move. I get chills just looking at the space station monitors now. Let me investigate first. Just perfect. Not only did she shut off all the access logs, she shut off all the terminal transmissions too. I thought it was the Legion that did this. This wouldn't have been a high-priority issue. The space station's to-do list is ridiculously long at this point. I am curious, though. She paused the terminal transmissions, but didn't touch the local data at all. I really don't get her. As a Stellaron hunter, she leaves the Stellaron behind. As a hacker, she doesn't delete the local log. There's an external port here. I'm gonna plug in and take a look. Relax, friend. I've done this a million times. Look at this agreement.
To the clouds! I see through you. Welcome, customers. Yeah! A quick divination. Converge and awaken.
Let's go. Just a scratch.
Let's be friends. Yeah!
Let's make it quick.
See? I was right. There was something fishy about the local data she left behind. Now we can browse through the Curio access logs. Huh? That can't be right. This Curio doesn't seem to have ever left the space station. From the way things look, yes. The records show that this Curio was last sent to Madame Herta's office, and then it disappeared? I'm seriously confused. What did she come here for? She wouldn't have put the graffiti up just to mess with us, would she? No, if I start thinking like that, I may as well give up now. I have to fully investigate every lead, or I'll really be out of a job.
It's getting late. Where to now?
That's not gonna happen. I'll say it again. I don't care what Runmei said to you, but there's no chance we're shutting down the simulated universe.
Herta, I've made my decision. Question: what have we invested into this project? Hundreds of system hours, the resources of an entire planet, and the most advanced technology in the entire universe. And what have we gotten in return? Unknowns, confusion, and a series of errors. In the beginning, we defined the simulated universe as a miniature world that could be used to discover the traces of the eons. But now, it's become something far removed from its original purpose.
The simulated universe is bound to make errors. You said that yourself, and that's exactly what we're experiencing. Why is that a problem all of a sudden?
I adore the vast amount of knowledge, but I cannot accept that the simulated universe remains simply a pending contract waiting to be attended to. Herta, think about it. How many surprises has this project given you? And how many disappointments has it given you?
The simulated universe never disappointed me. You are what disappoints me, Scroolum. Do you really think of yourself as someone so exceptionally amazing? Right now, you're more like someone from the Nitwit Society.
Herta, I don't mean to question you, nor do I want to deny the hard work you've put forth for the simulated universe. I just want to give more room for knowledge and inspiration to grow freely.
That's enough. Leave if you don't want to be part of this. Go tell the other two yourself. Oh, and take your tech with you. I don't need it. I can go find Adrian Taylor, or the red-nosed old man from Epsilon, or even the Intelligentsia Guild. At least they won't quit halfway. Ugh. Scroolum, we've known each other for a long time. This is the first time I feel that you're nothing but a piece of ice-cold metal.
My apologies, sir. This all started with me. I was the one that brought up the request to end our academic collaboration. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Herta or the project. The simulated universe is a great experiment, and Herta is a true genius. However, we have our differences when it comes down to our long-term vision for the future. These differences will often manifest into bias, and bias will get in the way of the formulation of knowledge. Deep down, I want to continue to believe in Herta. The question is whether one should end a collaboration that no longer holds true to its original intent. From an objective standpoint, I should end it immediately. Are you worried about her mental state? Thank you for the humor. It is good for tense moments like these. The emotions of organic life are like tides. It is my fault for not noticing the trajectory of the moon. Let Herta be alone for a while, so she can calm her emotions. It'll be beneficial for our negotiations later as well. As for the simulated universe, if that's the reason you're here, maybe I can help in answering your questions. Search. Bonfire in the depths of the woods. A lone stone sword points to the stars. Punk Lord mentality. That is no ordinary curio, my friend. That is a love letter a Galaxy Ranger has written for the universe. Young sir, how much do you know about Punk Lord? It is a planet made of data and symbols. The edges of reality and illusion are blurred in Punk Lord, as are its days and nights. An ether cartridge is a chip that Punklordian hackers use to edit reality. The ways through which a hacker perceives and modifies the world are recorded on the chip. It's a recording of the hacker's life and proof of their existence. The one on the space station belonged to someone truly legendary. He became a Galaxy Ranger by accident and spent many long years traveling among the stars. He encountered countless fascinating individuals and saw wonders witnessed by few. Many of the records and details recorded therein are beyond the knowledge of even the IPC and the Intelligentsia Guild. That is why it became part of the masses of calculation data for the simulated universe. Yes, no need to worry, my friend. The cartridge has never left the space station. It's, as I said, it is a very important reference for the simulated universe. That is why its data has been extracted and added to the calculations of the universe model. Herta was probably impulsive and added the cartridge into the simulation without telling anyone, resulting in the item being listed as lost. I understand your concern. If the individual in question did indeed try to hack into Herta's office, then the simulated universe is undoubtedly her next target. As such, please allow me to offer my limited abilities to assist you with your investigation, sir. As you already know, the simulated universe will be shut down temporarily. It will remain shut until Herta and I come to a clear conclusion. Yes, this is the last chance to investigate the cartridge data. By way of apology for shutting down the simulated universe, I will use my abilities in the universe to provide you with what assistance I can. This is my recommendation. Please take your time to consider it.
Did you hear that? I was so scared I couldn't utter a single word. The simulated universe? Shut down? That's Madame Herta's biggest project. I can't imagine how mad she'd be if it fell through. Wait, this isn't my fault, is it? If I'd been able to stop the enemy's invasion, would Mr. Screw'em be less pessimistic? You're right. This is terrible. I feel like I'm incapable of doing anything. Still, beating myself up all the time won't help either. We're here for the cartridge. At the very least, we must try and see this thing through. Having heard what Mr. Screwlum said, you're entering the simulated universe to continue the investigation, aren't you? I'm afraid I won't be able to accompany you. I'll be helping Mr. Screwlum monitor the system's internal data flow from the office. I'm so nervous. This is the first time I've been involved in something so big. Anyway, I'll be cheering for you.
Well, sir, are you ready? Please, ask away. I welcome all forms of curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Yes, there are other concerns besides those I've mentioned. I believe that the miracles inside the simulated universe have the right to grow and develop organically. The will of others shouldn't be imposed upon it, just like in the actual universe. The more Herta tries, the further she moves away from the universe that she had hoped for. Conclusion: the endless iterations of the simulated universe are wearing down her talents, day by day. I hope to free my dear friend from it. Nevertheless, I must also clarify that this is my opinion alone. You should form your own judgment on Herta, young sir. They are a group that carries a balance scale with them at all times. They believe all the justice in the universe needs to be achieved through individual deeds. That was the most suitable way of describing the Galaxy Rangers, in my interpretation. They are directed by the path of the hunt and are always accompanied by song and the sound of horns. They pursue justice for the individuals and groups they encounter along the way and shower them with splendid wines and poems. However, all stories come to an end, just as they disappeared from the spotlight long ago. There is a group of life forms there that know nothing of fatigue. They are attempting to touch upon the umbilical cord of the truth. They are compiling the languages, thoughts, and even emotions of the entire planet into symbols that even inorganic life forms can understand. You see, in the vast sea of data, life exists only in one form: a line of code. Whether it's a butterfly, a whale, or even you, the length of that line of code dictates the boundaries of what the entity entails. Maybe the emotions of organic life forms are an expression of data, don't you think? Very well. Get going we shall. I will be sending you into the simulated universe using an alternative method. It might feel a little different than usual. This will help us quickly locate the cartridge in the vast sea of data. We'll start with this data link. Now, please prepare yourself for a deep dive with your consciousness. Young sir, are you all right? You are now inside the data link of the Ether cartridge. Look around and tell me what you discover. Hacker? Oh, conclusion. That is a holographic record that the simulated universe has created. In here, regardless of how large or small, all variables are saved, including outsider traces. You were right. The enemy's invasion has spread to the deepest parts of the simulated universe. They were only a hair away from the Ether cartridge's data link. What we are seeing are the projections of what happened in those moments. Young sir, please stay still. Allow me to see what I can do with this record.
Hey, you. Why are you staring at me?
I initiated the simulation flow. This is just a record of the past. She's not actually talking to you. Please listen and don't interrupt her. We may be able to find out more of what we need to know.
First off, I'm not obsessed with it. On Punk Lord, the stories of the cartridge are no different from textbooks. I'm not interested in something that everybody already knows about. Secondly, it's not some kind of video game cartridge. It's an Ether cartridge. It's the second pair of eyes, second brain, and second heart of the hacker. Do you understand what that actually means? With that cartridge, if a guy went to a movie premiere and bought some mixed popcorn, you'd be able to know the flavor of the fourth kernel he picked out of the bucket. It's truly amazing. Lastly, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not obsessed with it. The reason I'm still rambling about it is to make sure that you know how amazing it really is. Do you get it now, Kafka? Alright, let's get going. We have to move quickly. This place is different from the rest of the space station. We're on Genius Society turf.
It is safe to assume that two people entered the simulated universe. Her and her companion. Interesting. Let's see what happened next. You are now taking the point of view of the companion. She will react to your behavior now. Well, sir. Very well. I will be sending... This will help us quickly... Young sir, are you all right?
Seize the moment! Yeah!
Relax.
Time to twirl! Time to twirl!
Huh. 100% break! 100% break!
Time to twirl! Seize the moment! Yeah!
Stand still.
Fork in the road, huh? I got this. Wanna pick one first? Give your beloved instincts a try.
Technically, she is asking her companion to choose. The record will continue forward, even if you don't take any action.
Wrong choice. The correct answer is the path on the right. Not what we're looking for. It's a bait signal. Ugh, why would Herta put something like this inside the simulated universe? Doesn't she find it annoying when she has to find something herself? Never mind, I miscalculated. Let's try another sector.
She's actually on the correct path. She just needs to continue a little further. I trust that she too will realize this soon. We've met only once. Stellaron Hunter, Silver Wolf. We've fought against one another before. Herta was there as well. She may have mentioned it to you. It was more like a test than a duel. She would attack, and I would defend. Neither of us gave it our all. She wasn't able to break through my defenses, and I wasn't able to stop her from leaving. I never thought our next meeting would take place under these circumstances. I believe the continuation of our last encounter will soon arrive.
What the? This was the right way all along. Ugh, Herta's got some psychological tactics going on.
Seems like we can now continue forward.
Oh, back to the space station again. A riddle? Where's the skip button?
Upgrade configured. Hey! Seize the moment!
Can I have fun this time?
Time to twirl! How am I gonna get that time back? Let's be friends. Yeah!
Relax.
Time to twirl!
You took the bait. Time for a buzz.
Honored to meet me. Time to twirl!
May as well kill them all. The human body is beautiful in its fragility.
Finally, almost there. There's even a miniature Herta over here. Eesh. A little narcissistic, isn't she? The whole space station is filled with her face. Portraits, statues, even projections of herself. I was planning on adding a mustache for her, but the spray didn't work. The entire space station feels like it's made of paper, but her portrait is near indestructible.
She's talking about that portrait in the elevator room, no? Herta commissioned me to design an encryption tool for her. Seems she ended up using it on her portrait. That's correct. The ether cartridge data is in the next room. Our pursuit is coming to an end. Yes, that incongruous feeling has persisted throughout this long pursuit. She came for the Stellaron, but showed a strong interest in the curios. And just as we found out about the existence of the ether cartridge, she just so happened to show up in the simulated universe. I must admit, this feels less like a chase and more like a chance encounter. I recall a story about Punk Lord. It is said that graffiti is a special kind of symbol there. Hackers see reality as a magnificent game and attempt to finish the stage we know as life. Whether it be for competition or for joy, they leave a trail in the places they visit. One symbol after another link up to become a long, long journey that writes the game of life. And would this ongoing affair not be part of such an endeavor? Perhaps this is all nothing more than a game she's decided to play with us. In which case, let us accompany her till the end.
Break. 100% break.
We're in trouble now. A thousand wonders to raise. Fight as one.
Good times never last. Time to say bye. Boom.
Time to twirl. Can I have fun this time? Time for a buzz.
Stand still.
Bad news. This combat needs... This is double speed. Time to twirl! This big diamond! It's all yours! Yeah!
Relax.
Huh. More enemies. Oh dear.
Look, we found it. The ether cartridge is here, and it's perfectly intact. There is an unwelcome third party here with us. If what we are seeing constitutes past images of Silver Wolf, then for her to have made it this far would have entailed the disappearance of the cartridge. We can only assume that the facts don't align with the theory. I believe that she was indeed able to hack into Herta's office, but she didn't stay there for very long. After all, even the best hacker wouldn't be able to find a specified target in the vast ocean of the simulated universe's data.
Unless she had someone to guide her there. Huh. You want to explain it to him first? I can see the confusion in his eyes.
The final results are on the display table, young sir. Take a closer look if you wish. We have plenty of time left. I will answer any questions that you may have. You've guessed correctly. The person that stands before you is tonight's starring role. She left herself a back door in the office, performed a proxy hack the moment you entered the simulated universe, and found a way to continue alongside us. I must say, she really is a masterful actor. Misdirection is always the most effective method. The graffiti is like a two-way data tunnel. You can use it to retrace the trail she leaves behind, and she can monitor your progress by seeing which pieces of graffiti have disappeared. I fear she may well have had the whole thing planned out before hacking the space station. The graffiti and the back door were all in aid of honing in on just the right moment. I'm sorry. Herta forbade me from disclosing any information beforehand. She made clear that knowledge would not be paramount to this operation, but rather the lack of it. However, the way I see it, the most important elements were dedication and sincerity. The actions of Mr. Leonard drew the target right in. Well then, were you satisfied with this simulated universe journey, Miss Silver Wolf?
Huh. You knew it all along, didn't you? I knew it would be hard to fool you. All that talk you were spouting along the way was meant for me, wasn't it?
It is a joy and an honor to have the opportunity to face off against you once again. Herta said that this cartridge would be able to lure in the biggest fishes in the universe. She was right.
So, the business about shutting down the universe and the argument with Herta was all just an act? You did all that to lure me in?
That is up to you to interpret. Herta and I have always been frank with one another. Sharp conversations of that nature happen on a regular basis. It wouldn't be fitting to call it an act. Miss Silver Wolf is truly a talented hacker. Not only did she calculate everything ahead of time, she has numerous variables and aces still to play. News of my sudden visit to the space station was probably the only uncontrollable variable in her plan. And with my arrival came the nightmare of shutting down the simulated universe. That would have ruined her plans and all her preparations. You now know everything about this encounter.
Everything? No, no. You're wrong about the most important part. You think I came here out of desperation, but I've been bursting with excitement this whole time. Do you know how happy I was when you showed up, Screwlum? I haven't had the thrill of a formidable opponent in such a long time. The Legion is nothing but a bunch of cavemen, and the IPC were a disappointment. Only the Society has the talent to provide me with a fun challenge. Reality is nothing but a game. But what's the point of a game if it can't make you happy? An invitation letter and a challenge letter were sent to me from two geniuses. How could I not accept them? Would you have turned them down?
You're confident you will be able to get out of this in one piece.
That's right. And I'm bringing this with me.
Oh, a copy. You completed it while we were talking just now.
Why else would I entertain so much small talk? You're not the only one stalling for time. I'm guessing that Herta is hiding in a corner somewhere, trying to pull off a reverse hack from where I hacked in. You, on the other hand, are responsible for taking me head-on, just as you did last time. And I'm looking forward to it. How do you plan on stopping me this time? Are you going to turn the simulated universe into a black box? Or are you going to work with the IPC and put together a cross-galactic encirclement? Screwlum, will I be able to see your true strength this time? The long-awaited result will finally be determined. There will only be one victor today. Please, let me have some fun this time, okay?
My apologies, Miss Silverwolf, but none of what you are hoping for will be happening today. You may leave now.
Huh? Leave? But why? Aren't you trying to catch me? Don't you want to cuff me and exile me on some distant planet?
Your creativity has proven interesting. However, I have nothing to do with your quarrel with the space station. Ergo, I won't stop you.
I'm gonna leave with this cartridge, then.
That's just a duplicate. Correction, not only is the one in your possession a duplicate, but so is the one here. The real curio was transferred elsewhere at the very beginning. Conclusion, you may share that data freely.
What if I attack the space station again?
It would have nothing to do with me. But I must warn you, it is likely that someone would step forward to stop you.
Then, what if I were to destroy the simulated universe right now?
I'm sorry, but that simply isn't possible. Ether editing isn't capable of destroying an entire universe.
What is the point of this, then? You guys went out of your way to put together this trap, but don't plan on doing anything at all?
That's right. This way, the game that you so carefully orchestrated is now pointless, is it not? There's no point in a game if it's no longer fun. Silver Wolf, I know what you're after. The IPC's shackles won't be able to hold you, and jail is but another game to you. Herta and I came to an understanding. We will no longer enable you and give you what you need.
How boring.
However, Herta felt that this would be too easy on you, and wanted to add something of her own. And that is why, in this very moment, she has reverse-hacked you and located all your interastral network accounts. A total of 76 accounts. A very impressive number. How would it be if the IPC were to freeze all of them, including all of your game records?
What? Hey, hold on a minute.
And she logged out. How hasty of her. Games are always fun in the eyes of a child, but to an adult, they are but one among many ways of solving a problem. It's about time we were on our way.
A flawless victory! Hope you got a glimpse of Herta's awesomeness, kiddo. Naturally. I couldn't care less about what happened with the space station, but I will surely repay the favor tenfold to anyone who dares to taunt me. I already notified someone at the IPC to freeze all her accounts. She's probably crying in front of her computer right now.
Thank you, young sir. Your and Mr. Leonard's contributions were a necessity to our victory. Do you have any other questions regarding this incident? Her ultimate goal was always the ether cartridge, but she developed an alternative objective in challenging Herta and me in the process. All those complicated puzzles and unnecessary ploys. Nothing more than games, I'll wager. If you are referring to the back doors Silver Wolf left behind, we have cleared out all of them, except for the one in the office. Don't worry. The space station is not as fragile as you think. Whether it's cosmic warfare or the incident that just took place, they're all within Herta's grand plan. Please, ask away. A medium rare cattle steak, salt-baked Kalia lemongrass, Herman compound milk, and a portion of fried rice prepared by a certain young man on the station. All I need is energy. The form that energy comes in is the same as it is for you. I would never forsake the delights of the culinary world in the interests of efficiency. Now, it is possible that my joints may need a little lubricant every now and again. Certainly not. Although Madame Herta and I have our differences in terms of research direction, The simulated universe is our shared pursuit, and nothing will change that. On the contrary, I plan on staying here for a while to see up close what kind of surprises the new branch of the universe has in store for me. There is no one answer to that question, my friend. It holds a different meaning for everyone. To sentimental, organic life forms, it could be the first falling leaf in the change of seasons, or the marks carved onto someone through the passage of time. To the swarm that follows its instincts, it might be the sight of fresh meat in their compound eyes and the restless thirst for sustenance. And for me, perhaps the image of symbols woven together, still able to move the heart, something great that you call emotions. Of course, I've also heard that the answer is nothing more than a 2-digit number. Well, young sir, our destination may differ, but there are still countless opportunities for our paths to cross. The pursuit of knowledge will always be the best driving force for trailblazing.
So, the reason Madame Herta wanted me to continue the investigation was to lure her out of hiding? That never crossed my mind! Did she know about the traps the hacker left in the space station from the very beginning? She said I did a good job! Can you believe it? I've just been acknowledged by Madame Herta! This is something I'll remember for the rest of my life. I don't have to worry about being fired anymore!
This chapter has come to a conclusion. Come, let us close the final back door.
It's gone. It's all gone. They seriously left nothing behind. They went too far this time. Too far.
All right. Stop with the tantrum. You're not a kid anymore.
I am not throwing a tantrum.
Uh-huh. Anyway, what are you gonna do now, huh? Hack an IPC branch nearby and get your accounts back?
If it were just 1 or 2 accounts, sure. I kind of overdid it this time. I lost basically everything. A branch office probably won't be enough. I'm gonna have to make a trip to Pierpoint.
What, you're going alone? That's the IPC's headquarters.
Yep, just me. Why? Do you want to come with?
I probably won't be able to. I'm in Elio's next script. Did you forget?
Oh, right. That story doesn't sound like it fits me. You guys have fun.
I hope you have a good time in Pierpoint as well.
Don't worry. I've already got an idea. You see that cloud diner just 2 kilometers from here? A few temps from the building material logistics department just stepped in. I'm gonna go and become their friend.
Getting a move on already? I would have thought you'd at least want to spend some time with that cartridge you were obsessing about.
I told you. I'm not obsessed with it. Besides, there's fun to be had along the way. A game is a game, and that's all there is to it.
It's getting late. Where to now?
The moon shines on the truth.
So you are afraid of me.
Yeah! Time to twirl!
Can I have fun this time? Time for a buzz.
Hey! Time to twirl!
Unworthy. Do not concern.
So you are afraid of me. Who's next?
How am I gonna get that time back?
So you are...
Time to twirl!
Do not concern yourself with the outcome.
Break!
Time to twirl! Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours!
All will be revealed in lunar flame.
You took the big...
Tedious. Blade of moonlight.
This combat needs optimizing. This is double speed.
Time to twirl! I'll free you from your disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past. Who's next?
I just came online. What do you want?
The server's still not open. Ugh.